And welcome back to Truth Hurts. We expose corrupt politicians, corrupt DOJ, corrupt FBI, corrupt agencies of the government, and their allies in the lying corporate media. I'm Jake Duesenberg, exposing all these things. We're going to get right into Trump's indictment. Look at this thing. You probably didn't know I printed this out, right? Big stack of paperwork. Talking about this, and we're going to bring a perspective you probably haven't heard anywhere else, because guess what? I know a lot about protecting classified information. I got a past history on that. Joining me as always, political junkies, MAGA Jesse. We know how you think about this, what you think about this whole topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another witch hunt, another kangaroo court, another scam. You know, we're used to it. It's just par for the course when dealing with Trump. So, of course, it's all another fraud. But, you know, trying to perpetrate the American people, trying to scare us into believing all this nonsense. It's just such a joke. They're trying to damage Trump. Not going to let it happen.
Representing Team DeSantis is Mr. Straight-Laced himself, William Beck. I'm sorry, William. I love that face you gave me there. I know
What face?
You don't really represent Team DeSantis, but you do like the guy.
Okay, I mean, I wasn't even going to take offense to that. I'm probably voting
He doesn't give that face. Does he not give that
He
face?
did have. I think there was a little bit of face.
There's a face. You have no idea your face.
Too much into my facial expression.
That's how I've gotten to where I am 40 years in life, is reading people's face.
It's not working for
It's
you
not
so
working.
far in this show anyway.
By the way, 50th episode next week. Or I'm sorry, this Thursday, not next week. This Thursday. We want to know what you want to talk about. Right now, the topic is aliens in Las Vegas. That's an interesting story. So if you don't give us a better topic, go ahead and do a Rumble rant today. If you're not following us on Rumble, go ahead and hit follow on Rumble. The best place to watch this show is on Rumble. Never censored there, never, even though YouTube is apparently playing cool with us now. And also, if you want to add to the conversation, go in the comment section. And if you really want us to read your comment, do a Rumble rant, and we will read your comment live on air. And reading your comments, by the way, is
I was going to say, I will read your comment.
Bridget Williams. There you go.
We already have Tucker, Bad Hat Harry, Dover Dan with us right now. And I think Bad Hat Harry, says no aliens.
Okay, let us know when K-Wall and T-Wall sign in. That's my favorite part of the show. Tucker is just like the legacy. He's just always there. He's Mr.
I know.
Reliable.
He actually just said in the comments that he works nights, and that's how he can watch the stream every day.
Oh, okay. A lot of people work and also watch the show. I appreciate that. Tucker's probably got a job where he can't do that. He's probably got it like someone dies if he's watching something, not paying attention. Maybe he flies planes. Actually, an air traffic controller. That's what I'm going with. Tucker's an air traffic controller. Running the dials, as always, is Mr. Dawson, Deep State himself. Dawson, how you doing, Dawson? Uh-oh, wasn't ready for that.
No, I'm doing good. Doing great. Being from the deep state, this is an interesting topic to me. I deal with classified documents all the time. So
it's all his fault. All his fault.
That's
Do
not
we
what I
have more
meant.
lights in here than usual? It feels like brighter in our... Does it feel bright to you?
I think Liz Collin has completely screwed up everything here. She's filming a documentary back there in studio number 2. And so not only did she take over my desk yesterday, which I've given her a lot of crap for that, because all of a sudden she took my desk. I was like, oh, the magic desk. So now when you see that documentary in the future, you'll be like, holy cow, that was a great documentary because Jake's desk was in it. Then she's having lunch over there with her crew, because she's got this big crew doing this thing. And she's in my spot. So apparently I've been like booted out of this number 1 spot, and Liz Collins take over, apparently. She writes 1 book. Look at what she's doing. Anyhow, she's been kind of fun to have around here. I can't wait till that documentary comes out. It's kind of like an extension of her book. Anyhow, we got to get into this subject because a lot of people probably are coming to this for the first time. You don't know much about us. That's what we do in the introductions. Why am I talking about this? I literally was we were talking about this yesterday, I think, before we headed out of the office. And I'm like, I don't know if we should do the Trump indictment because everyone's talking about the Trump indictment. What do we have to offer? I literally said, what else are we going to say that no one else has said? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, Jake, you got a lot of opinions on this subject because, I don't know, you were in charge of classified information in a division headquarters in Iraq. You kind of know a lot about this topic. You know, I've gone to schooling for SSO school, or I can't remember what the name of the school was. It was on some naval base. I was in the Army for 12 years, so naval bases were somewhat foreign to me. But and there's no drag shows on that naval base, by the way. Well, at least not when I was there. And then over in Iraq was in charge of operational security, which includes classified information, but anything that the release could be used by our enemy. That was like a secondary job that I had over there, which I took very seriously because we had VIPs come to our area, even had to work with foreigners, locals and stuff like that. And so you got to sanitize an area that has classified information. You have to protect that classified information. I know all about it. And so I got a lot of history in this. And so when I'm reading this indictment here, this 50-some page indictment on Donald Trump, 38 charges against Donald Trump. The worst would carry 20 years in prison. And, you know, Trump is 76. Is that correct, Jesse? Your big boy, Trump?
I don't memorize his age. I don't know.
He is 76.
I think he is.
How do you
76.
not know your favorite guy's age?
I don't memorize everybody's age. I don't know what you're asking for.
As
Your
the
Honor.
non-Trump supporter, I can say he's 76.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
is.
76 years old. So basically, although Trump's like the kind of guy that probably would live to 100 because that guy's crazy. At
And both of his
76.
parents actually lived into their mid-90s. So,
Dang.
Well, the guy doesn't
But
drink
mid-90s
either, so
means
he's-
this would be a death sentence, assuming he serves all 20 years.
well,
yeah.
he's not going to. He's
Well,
not
yeah.
even going to prison.
Fair enough. Okay.
In fact, he's still the president. And he's going to be reinstated any day now. Mark my words. I put my MAGA hat on.
That's not a
He's
MAGA
just mocking
conspiracy.
us.
That's
He's
Q.
just mocking
You're
us,
mocking
you know?
Q people.
It's
MAGA
such a joke.
Republicans are not all Q people. How dare you? That was a low blow.
No, I'm joking.
Unbelievable.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if found guilty of this, up to 20 years in prison, which would be basically writing out the rest of his life in prison, right? And boy, how many leftists are, oh, Gleeful, goody, 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 goody. And how many rhinos are like, oh, goody, 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 let's get rid of Trump once and for all. Thank God, I hate Trump. Because I'm this rhino Republican, and he's doing too much for the conservative base, and we hate those people, said Mitt Romney. You know, I was thinking about that. Is Mitt Romney going to get primaried? When's he?
Yeah, he is game primary.
He is getting primaried?
Well, he
mayor
hasn't
of
even
some-
announced if he's running. Mitt Romney hasn't even announced if he's running for re-election. He will, of course, you know. But yeah, there's going to be someone to challenge him, whether it be the Utah Attorney General or Jason Chaffetz, or there's plenty of people in Utah who are looking at it.
Well, he's
Yeah, so
doubling
the-
down.
The first official challenger is a mayor of some city in Utah. People are talking about him. I forget his name.
Gotcha. Well, he's doubling down on this whole thing. So, of course, Mitt Romney just thinks Trump's guilty already. All right. And we know very well, you can go a couple shows back, we're also being investigated by a weaponized government agency at the behest of rhinos who want to see us ended. Now, I don't have a conclusion today, okay? We're going to meander around this thing. I'm going to give you my expertise on the subject matter at hand because I have no idea where this thing's going to go, okay? Because when you read this document, man, it sounds like Trump did some really bad stuff, in my opinion. If it's true. I don't know if it's true. Pull up the image, Dawson, of what they allegedly found at his residence, classified information. Trump apparently had 27 documents in his office, 6 of which were top secret, 18 secret, and what's that, 3 confidential. There's 3 basic ratings in classified information. It goes top secret, secret, confidential. And the scale is like top secret will create grave danger to the United States. Like if that gets out, it's really bad. Okay, I'm just kind of paraphrasing. There's probably some legal standard here, but confidential it'd be damaging to the United States of America, but it wouldn't be like grave danger. Follow me? Some thresholds, and then they found 75 documents in his storage room. 11 were top secret, 36 were secret, and 28 were confidential. Notice how it says Trump's office and storage room. It does not say bathroom, and it does not say ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you notice that? All right. And then you're probably watching the lying corporate media. All right, first of all, I don't know if I'm going to conclude that we shouldn't trust the DOJ and the FBI. I don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, I hope, maybe in this case I don't hope, but that there's some honest people doing the real work. Okay, and they might be doing real work, and evidence was planted on Donald Trump, and so they're just reporting what they found, even though there was someone behind this thing. Okay, so we're gonna get into a lot of stuff today, but the media, they have just been so apparent and so anti-Trump this whole time. You can't trust what these guys say. Go to PBS here. We got an article where they're showing the documents. This is how they frame the issue. photos from Trump's indictment show boxes of classified documents stored in Mar-a-Lago's shower and ballroom. Now, remember, I just showed you what they said. It was found in office. Classified documents were found in the office, and they were found in his, what was the other one? Storage, okay? But the whole media narrative, right off the bat, is the bathroom and the ballroom. The ballroom would be a big case because the public is getting into this ballroom, right? And the bathroom would be, it's obviously not the right storage of classified information, but it's probably a little bit more secure than a ballroom. I'm guessing the mass public hasn't gone to his private bathroom.
Right. It'd be interesting to see a map of Mar-a-Lago and point out exactly which rooms we're talking about here. And I really don't believe for a second that there's just all of these boxes laying around in the ballroom of Mar-a-Lago. I mean, that's a very important place that people have high-level meetings in. I can't imagine that they're just sitting around like that. It seems like, maybe at a period of time, maybe after the FBI whipped out everything and were pulling everything apart, and as they tore apart Barron Trump's room, while Hunter Biden gets let off. There's just so many things in here that don't make sense.
Or those boxes came from the White House, were staged there, but not a single one of those boxes have classified information. We don't know that. But the media wants to go with that narrative.
Not to ruin your flow here, but and this isn't even a criticism of Trump. I'm just really weirded out by the bathroom pictures.
Why?
Scroll down to the bathroom pic. You see the towels and the trash can there? Someone uses that bathroom.
You don't know that.
Well, no, yeah. There are towels in there. They look like they're neatly folded, so they've been put there recently.
Well, here's my thinking.
So there's got to be someone who cleans the bathroom too. It's just strange to me. What, you didn't have anywhere else to store these? I'm not saying that Trump's
but I got
for this.
It's
just strange that he's doing it.
No, I got a theory on that. I think that possibly he to steal one from Jesse, he's playing 4D chess here, because he knew that they were going to raid his private residence. Or basically thought they would raid his private residence. And so what did Trump do? I'm going to store it in my bathroom. I'm going to store it in the closets. So when they raid it, it's as personal as it can be, and it's a better narrative against them. Because I don't see any other reason why he would do this, right? It doesn't make sense.
And do you really think Trump is taking a dump in there? No way, man.
Somebody is.
Well, he's a germ freak. Trump is a germ freak. So if these documents mean something to him, he's not going to put them in a bathroom, right? So I literally think there's some 4D chess that's going on in that one. God, I do sound like Jesse all of a sudden, don't I? Okay.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, of course, the raid was, he knew the raid was going to happen, and he knew he did nothing wrong. That's why he allowed all of this to unfold. And, he basically just says to the government, you guys have been extremely corrupt. You guys have been sleazy. You guys have been trying to backstab me at every single turn. He's not giving them anything. He's not obstructing justice. If anything, he is, keeping justice alive by fighting this, because the government is corrupt, not him.
Yep. So even if they're secure, and you hear the arguments by, there's Secret Service and stuff like that, and of course the left's he just haphazardly had these boxes all around. They found 102 pieces of classified documents. When you see those boxes in all those different rooms, that's not 102 documents. That's thousands, maybe tens of thousands of documents. So it's almost like a needle in a haystack that's classified, and maybe all the classified was in just one box, right? We don't know, okay? So once again, they're trying to build this narrative. So just ignore the lying corporate media, and let's focus on the government's case against Donald Trump, okay? Which, assuming they're correct, seems real bad. Now, to store classified information, you need a SCIF. SCIF is a special, sensitive, compartmentalized information facility, okay? And that's I don't want to go into the details, but I learned how to build SCIFs and temporary SCIFs, T-SCIFs or tactical SCIFs. You learn how to build these things because, especially in the military, you got to basically have an area you could process classified information overseas in a combat zone, right? And then when you're not in a combat zone, there's actually an approval process and directives on how to build a SCIF, because you can't have people accessing the SCIFs, two different doorways in an entryway, and the two doors can't be together at the same time. And you have to collect mobile devices, because mobile devices can be a security breach if they got in there. Not just because people are taking pictures, because people can put malware on a phone and turn it into a microphone, right? So these are important things to SCIFs, okay? That's not a SCIF. That's a bathroom. That's a ballroom. If there's classified information in there, was not stored the correct way. And why it's so important is because if top secret information gets out, it could literally lead to the death of a human source. So I'm conflicted on this one here, right? Because they're saying some really damning things here in this indictment. Donald Trump was mishandling classified information up to the top secret level. Maybe it was even higher than that. A lot of people don't know, but you could get read on to even more compartmentalized things like HUMINT or SIGINT. So like signal technology, which would be really bad for the enemy to know, but like the worst is HUMINT, human intelligence, because then somebody provide that intelligence to an intelligence agency, and then the release of that will expose who the source is, and you can only imagine what's going to happen to that source, right? So Donald Trump could be guilty of mishandling classified information that could lead to the death of a human being that provided that intelligence to us.
The only problem is there's no proof of that. There's no proof of that at all. You know, it's all these allegations thrown out by the media, thrown out by this, crazy prosecutor, Jack Smith, whose wife worked for Michelle Obama. You know, it's all such a scam. And, they're claiming that, Trump may have been sharing this information with people. We don't know that. Nobody, there's no proof of that. Nobody has come out and said that. It's all just the people who are trying to go after Trump.
Well, I once again, the media, complete liars, okay? So I'm going to get away from that. When we are looking at not the media's accounts.
Right, but the indictment says that too, right? That he was, giving this information to other people.
That's what it says. They alleged 2 different cases where he was talking to people. I think someone speculated Kid Rock was one of the people that he's talking to.
Oh, yeah, our country's in danger. Kid Rock knows something. Oh, what a joke.
Well, okay, unfair there, Jesse. You don't... So in order to get classified information, 2 things need to exist. You have to have the appropriate security clearance. Now, anyone that's gotten a security clearance, I had a top secret clearance, but even before that, I had a secret clearance. They're very thorough on this. They assign a federal investigator. Everyone just thinks they're FBI. So when they go talk to your family and friends, people think the FBI is coming to talk to them. But what they're doing is they're investigating you as the person that's going to have that clearance. And a top secret one is just even that much higher, so it's even more scrutiny. Like I remember when I got I think it was my TS clearance, I have a friend from college who was born in Brazil, and they really wanted to talk to her because is Jake being influenced by a foreigner? Fair enough, right? So they actually go in and they do an investigation. So first of all, you have to have the security clearance. Now, you know what the big red flags in security clearances? If you have like problems with your spouse, okay, so domestic stuff. And number 2 is like financial troubles, because then you can be blackmailed pretty easily. So actually, both those reasons you could be blackmailed very easily.
Right.
So,
and I know I'm sure it's also very difficult with they don't take kindly to liars. They'd rather people admit to things that have gone on in their past rather than trying to hide it and cover it up.
That's right.
I've heard about people in the FBI and whatnot who have gone through the interrogations and everything needed in order to get the clearance and whatnot. So
yeah, great point, because they do interview the subject, and of course you lie. So number 1, you got to have the correct security clearance, so top secret, and then you have to have a need to know. So 2 things exist: correct clearance and a need to know. All right. So Kid Rock doesn't have either one of those.
Of course not. I know, but that's such a crazy allegation. We think that Trump was giving nuclear secrets to Kid Rock.
And, they don't even know. But there's a bunch of things that they allege in here, like top secret, and they say no foreign. No foreign means no foreigners can know about it. Because we actually have agreements with a couple countries. They have something called 4 Eyes or 5 Eyes, and that means we can share with actually, I've been on the military for a while. Do we still share with Canada, that communist country?
I hope
But
not.
like Canada, New Zealand, New Zealand's in the 5 Eyes. If it's not that, Australia, and then Great Britain, because we have such close relationships with those countries. So no foreign means not a single one of those guys can get it. And this one's like White House intelligence briefing related to various foreign countries. You could see there's probably a lot of documents regarding like a daily brief to the president. Document dated June 2020 concerning nuclear capabilities of foreign country. This is another White House briefing. There was one updated document concerning military attacks by a foreign country. By the way, they allege he showed a secret map. I think that's the one that they allege was to Kid Rock. Yeah, here you go. FVEY, 5 Eyes. That's what that means. That's a shorthand for 5 Eyes. So you could share it with people with classification in those countries. By the way, not just someone that lives in Great Britain. You can't just share it with, but you can share it with someone that's got the appropriate classification. And then they got only one in here that talks about nuclear capabilities. Let me just make sure I got this one right. I think this is count number 19. Undated document concerning nuclear weaponry of the United States. And of course, that's the big one that that everyone would be screaming about. Now that's a secret. Now if it's so right here, I didn't even get this in our show prep. That's a secret. I mean, if it's a document concerning nuclear weaponry, that wouldn't be secret. That'd be top secret. So right there, I'm a little skeptical on that one.
Yeah. And also we would have to believe that Trump has ill will for our country and wants us to go down and wants, enemies to have our nuclear weapon information. It's ridiculous to me. It assumes that he's this evil guy who doesn't have our country in his heart.
That's not accurate, Jesse, because he could just be careless. He could be careless in what he's doing, even if he wants to love a country, because it seems like the guy loves a country. He's just careless. Now, that brings up, it's interesting you bring up that point, because the politics of this, do I need to refresh the politics on you? Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Mike Pence. Let me pull up my Facebook post.
Who knows what George Bush and Dick Cheney stole from the White House?
Oh, I know, right?
Of course they were taking documents. Every single one of these presidents were taking documents.
Let me pull up my post from 2016. This was my personal account. So I was kind of shocked to see this was getting shared around quite a bit at the time. And this was the day that the FBI, or James Comey, decided he wasn't going to pursue Hillary Clinton. It says, I proudly served my country for 12 years in the military. For a brief period of that time, I was in charge of the security classified information for division headquarters, and in Iraq, I had a secondary job of protecting operational information from being compromised. The nature of those jobs was extremely serious about mishandling classified information because it could result in grave danger to the nation. That's why the military has completely separate systems set up to distribute classified information and why security areas are void of wireless devices and other removable electronic devices. Just so you know, what they're alleging here with Donald Trump are like paper documents. You're just as much trouble if you have digital documents, right? Which is what Hillary Clinton had, 30-some thousand emails.
Yeah, 33,000.
As an Army officer, if I mishandled classified information, my career would have been over and I would likely have faced prosecution. By the way, DeSantis used that comment about his time in the Navy. Don't you love how I'm giving him talking points, 7 years ago?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's still a little bit of a dig at Trump, the way that DeSantis is saying it. He's suggesting that Trump is guilty, and the way that he says it, DeSantis is suggesting, I would have gotten in trouble if I did it, which means that Trump should get in trouble.
So then you're saying that with me. So that's what I'm alleging is if it's true, and we're going to get into some thoughts here, because I'm not going to say that this is all true, but if it was true, Trump shouldn't be president.
It's not the exact same situation, though. It's like you'd have to compare it to another president, for
yes,
it to be a fair
and that's another good point, yes. But he can't just say it's declassified, and they apparently got audio tapes and acknowledging that.
We don't know that either, though.
We don't know that.
Release
that's fair.
The audio tape. It's like they sit there and tell us what this audio tape says, but they won't let us hear it for ourselves. It's such a joke. They this is the media telling us what to think. It's the media telling us what is going on. Like that Georgia phone call, the thing that they want to, throw Trump in prison for as well. I've listened to the entire phone call. I saw nothing wrong with the phone call. Trump was just saying, I think there's fraud. You need to stop the fraud. There's nothing wrong with the candidate saying that.
But Jesse, it might be worse. It might not just be the lying corporate media. It might be the actual FBI saying this stuff. Which is scary.
Of course it is. The
let me
deep
continue
state's
on.
real.
Today we learned from the mouth of the FBI director that Hillary Clinton was, and this is his quote, extremely careless. I can still hear it coming out of his mouth. In her handling of top secret information, she will not be facing charges, however, which seems to be more focused on presidents and similar prosecutorial cases than the actual law, which she broke. Because the law said willfulness doesn't even matter. Just the mishandling of classified, so if you're negligent, you could still be criminally prosecuted. Director Comey stated for successful prosecution, there would need to be sufficient evidence that there was willful disobedience to law. Remember that, because that's what they're gonna allege with here with Trump. So I guess the question for the voters is, do you believe Hillary Clinton is incompetent? I, for one, do not. Therefore, we must conclude that she willfully disobeyed the law and the handling of classified information, probably for her own convenience. She knew what she was doing was wrong, but it did it anyhow. Politicians are scum, and Hillary is the queen of that kingdom. I hope she is not rewarded for her behavior with a position of leading our armed forces. I felt that on July 5th, 2016. I feel that now, and I don't believe they should have put her in prison because she was the lead candidate in the Democrat Party for the office of presidency, and that is the really dangerous thing we're doing here. Is you're now putting you're trying to prosecute and throw someone in prison, which undermines our elections. Okay, and I don't know where the gray area is. Like if do you just have to file for office as president to escape prosecution? Probably not. But I think if you're the lead candidate, it's this is a massive problem, right?
Right.
So
leading the incumbent president in several polls. He's leading Biden. So
he's even leading Biden, not only just the leader of the Republicans by a lot. And so I thought the voters did decide that Hillary Clinton doesn't deserve that position. Okay, so here's the deal: is they're going to prosecute Trump with huge charges for not only mishandling classified information, which there are 31 instances as they allege. They're going to also put him in prison for conspiracy to obstruct justice, which would be a big foul. I think that's one that's like 20 years. Withholding a document of record. And by the way, it's not just him, it's also one of his aides who's a Navy veteran. Corruptly concealing a document of record, that's count 34. Concealing a document in a federal investigation, count 35. Scheme to conceal, 36. Don't you love those conspiracies and schemes? It's like anything that breaks the law when there's a scheme or something at play. Count 37, false statements and representations. And 38, false statements and representations. So 2 counts on that. Once again, the lowest is 5 years in prison, the highest being 20 years. I think if he's convicted, even with multiple, I don't think he's doing more than 20. 20 is a death sentence. He gets out at 96. Well, he's probably still dancing around at 96. Who knows? That guy's crazy. Okay, so Trump, just to kind of maybe summarize, if this is true, and he purposely had classified information, he knew he had classified information, and willfully held on to that classified information. He says he believed he could declassify it. They apparently have audio tapes. That's not 100% true, but that's a gray area too, by the way. That is a gray area. And then he refused to return it to federal investigators and keep it unsecured, thus endangering our country. I would really encourage people not to vote for Donald Trump in that case and think this guy shouldn't be president of the United States.
That's such a crazy thing to say because, like,
no, it's not a crazy thing to say. Hold on.
It sounds like you're falling for what the media is telling us.
No,
to
I'm not.
believe,
I'm saying if. I said it. Did I not say if?
Yeah, it's very.
I said if on that.
I know, but even
How dare
keep
you?
casting this
Even
on the
if.
media too.
Yes.
Like it's the indictment. It's what it's.
Oh, Jack
the facts
Smith's
of the
indictment.
case.
Yeah, Jack Smith.
No,
let's
no,
take
no.
that
Hold on.
guy
Hold on.
seriously.
No.
I'm
Hold
not
on.
even saying.
Jesse.
Let's just have an honest conversation.
Let's have an
about
honest
this.
conversation.
Oh, here we
Jesse.
go. I got 2 Scott Jensens by me now. Let's have a conversation. Let's do it.
No. I said if. If. The key word is if. If this is all true, this is what Donald Trump did, and he obstructed justice.
Okay, here, let me say this.
No,
if
let
he,
me
If he
finish.
accidentally had a couple of
No.
documents that were supposed to be classified that
But,
he had that
Jesse-
nobody got a hold of, it's not a problem.
Well, we don't know that. We don't
Yeah.
know. In fact, they allege, and in here, as I said, if it's true, he showed it to someone that didn't have a right to know that information.
According to Jack Smith and
We
according
just
to
don't
Trump,
have
he
enough
didn't.
information. We just
You're
don't have
not
enough
listening to
information.
what I'm saying,
at this
Jesse.
point.
I said if.
Yeah,
Can you give it to
I know
me?
that.
If this is true, I'm coming to your side on this, right?
If it's true, I'm still supporting him.
Well, and hey, I
I don't know
might,
what to say at that point.
I might too in the end. Like, I mean, if it's him versus Biden,
Well, I
yeah,
know,
I'm
right?
voting Trump, obviously. Are you kidding me?
Well,
I'd rather take a risk taker, you know?
no, I would, because this is a serious crime. Okay? Now, here's the thing. We'll never know. We'll absolutely never know.
Right.
And do you trust the FBI? No. After the Durham report, I mean, not even after the Durham report, before the Durham report, we know the Department of Justice was coming after him. The FBI was highly politicized. What if he didn't take any classified information? What if? What if they planted that?
I could see
What if
some
they
of that.
planted that on the way out of the White House? Somebody put those in the boxes knowing that they were going to burn him for this.
Right, because you're
Does
right.
that sound far-fetched at this point?
Yeah,
right?
you're right that we're never going to know what these documents are. They're confidential. They're top secret, so we're never going to be able to see what these alleged documents are. And I think if this was really a serious problem, they wouldn't be airing it out for the public. This isn't how things would be handled at all, because really they're making our country weaker. They're making us a laughingstock of the world. We look like a third world country. Impeaching going after former presidents. This is the kind of thing that you see in Africa. This is the kind of thing you see in third world countries. Not in the greatest country in the world.
I mean, by that logic, we would never address any issues facing the United States because it would make us look bad.
No, that's not true at all. I'm saying going after former presidents is a bad look for a country.
Or top leading contenders for president. That's almost a bigger foul there. I think going after a former president's one thing, but to go after the leading candidate's a big deal. But and Jesse, you brought up a really good point. Think about this. How are they going to prosecute this case? Okay, we know that, and we'll have a live feed here probably in about 15 minutes. Trump's due in courthouse at 3 p.m. Eastern, so that's 2 p.m. our time. So I think we'll kind of put a window up at about 1:45 here. But he's due in court, and eventually this will be a jury trial, okay? A jury of his peers, right? And the big question, if I am a juror, by the way, I believe in jury nullification. I'll never serve on a jury now because I got that in public.
Yeah.
If I'm a juror, before I'm about to convict a guy to a death sentence, 20 years of death sentence, I'm going to want to know, did he have classified information? And so my question is, I want to see the evidence. And what are they going to say? It's classified.
Is that a death sentence or a life sentence?
What?
Fair point, I guess. Yeah.
All of my points are fair points, Jake.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Sentence him to death, basically, because he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. I guess he could get out in 10 years. Who knows? I have no idea.
Or whatever.
Well, and
I guess
Vivek
I don't know how
Ramaswamy,
to-
he's the only candidate who has said that he would pardon
False.
Trump day one.
False.
Oh, is there someone
Perry
else?
Johnson
Oh,
said.
Perry Johnson.
Perry
that
Johnson
guy.
said back in March. Let's not discount him.
Okay, well that's interesting. Yeah, now that's an interesting guy. The guy selling T-shirts and hats for $1 on his website just to qualify for the debates. He's got no chance. But,
Both great guys, Perry and Vivek.
you know, I actually have a friend who met Perry Johnson one time, and he said that he was a total jerk. He said that he was
Really?
rude and like arrogant, and it's like, Perry Johnson, how can that guy be arrogant? You
He's
know,
got his big smile on his face.
I
all
guess.
the
Yeah,
time.
I don't know though.
Guys, can we stay on topic here? Perry Johnson. Why are we talking about Perry Johnson?
I don't know.
We need to
who
lighten
Perry
the mood
Johnson
a
is.
little bit, real quick.
This is why we call them the political junkies. Did you guys know who Perry Johnson was? Tucker, did you know Perry Johnson? My God, no one knows who Perry Johnson
Yeah,
is.
nobody.
Is
I'm
you
gonna
on
actually
KWall
run-
here?
I'm going to
Not
check
yet.
the comments real
Is
quick.
the Patriot, Carla Nelson, joining us today?
I have
I need my
not seen
fix.
it yet.
Mark
Nope.
Anderson, Brad Ganser, is he?
None of those guys.
What the heck's going on?
I mean, they
All
could
right.
be. They just
Yeah,
haven't
probably
commented.
right. Well, Brad Ganser, if he's in there, he's talking. All right, so you're a juror. I want to see the evidence. You say, I'm going to put this guy away for the rest of his life. Is that fair, Dawson? And you tell me he had classified. I want to see classified information. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't know that. Why? Because you don't have well, you probably do have a need to know as a juror, but you don't have a security clearance.
You know,
All right. Well, are we going to get security clearances for all the jurors? What happens if they have infidelity in their past or they have financial issues, right? Well, they're not going to get a security clearance.
or if they spill the beans after the trial, and
Yeah,
say
yeah,
exactly
right.
what was in the documents.
Yeah, so exactly. So, by the way, so then can we get rid of jurors because they don't pass the security? How can you have a jury of your peers in this case? Now, when the military or the agencies, which also have people that have classified information, they have special juries with people with the security clearances. But this is the President of the United States. This makes things tricky. So how is he going to have a jury of his peers? His peers are the people, not government agents or people in the military. Of course, maybe he'd do just fine if it's people in the military. All right, here's another issue. I had a TS clearance. I saw how overused security clearances were, security classifications were. Like people just put secret on a document even though there's not secret information in that document. And guess what? Do you know who actually has the authority to classify something? There's only one person technically that has classification authority, and that's the President of the United States, which Donald Trump, we assume the evidence they have against some of these classified documents were classified under him. Now, the presidents delegate this authority to like agencies. So like the Secretary of Defense has guidelines on what needs to be classified. That's how, Captain Duesenberg is like putting secret on a document, because I see that in the guideline, this is a troop movement, and this troop movements are secret, no foreign, or secret 4 eyes, or whatever it is. Okay. So I know how to classify a document on that. And by the way, even if everything else is unclassified in a document, if there's one line that's, secret or top secret, you always go with the highest classification. Does that make sense?
Yep. And I imagine that, like you're saying, that it's not all top secret. And I imagine that even some of the things that are considered secret are things that we can find out on our own through, tough research. Today's episode of InfoWars is tomorrow's top secret, report. All you got to do is watch Alex Jones, and you can find out exactly what the highest level of things are.
Still doesn't really matter in this case, because if it's classified, even if it's in the public, venue, it's still, you don't want to validate by a government document.
Yeah, but a lot of the top CIA guys, top FBI guys, they do watch Alex Jones, and it's not a surprise he's coming out with some of the fastest, most high level information that's out there. So,
well, my point is, a lot of things get classified that aren't classified information. Just because you put a secret, I could still do this. I could open up a Word document right now and do this. Just because you put it on a document doesn't mean it's classified. Okay. I don't want to go any further with this point. The prosecution already is problematic in the sense that he has the classification authority, so doesn't he have also the declassification authority? Now, there are processes, and this is what they're going to say. Certainly when there's human intelligence involved, you need a process to make sure that this doesn't lead to someone's death, and they're making Trump out to be this careless guy who doesn't care. Now, I actually could see Trump, because the guy's pretty ego-driven, literally be, I could see him be the wild man that they're describing here. Okay, I could see it. I can almost equally, if not more, see him being innocent of these charges. And it could be as bad as they planted evidence. They had a secret document or not classified information, but it was labeled that way. They planted it leaving the office, or they planted it in this FBI raid. Do we even know, by the way? I should know this. Do we know why they alleged he had this classified information?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure how they knew. There's a big registry
out there. Yeah, so how did they even know he had this stuff? Was it leaked? Did someone leak it to him? If someone leaked it from inside the Trump organization, do we trust that wasn't manufactured? They literally made up a hoax about Russia for years, and they all went with it.
Yeah.
Why would we trust anything these guys say?
A lot of them still do. Yeah, it's
right?
crazy. I know they still push the Russiagate narrative, and especially because of the Ukraine war, they say, look, Trump would just be, helping Putin right now and all kinds of things. So, yeah, no, I'm on the same page as you on that.
Okay, so the big charges here is not just the mishandling of classified information. It's what they consider conspiracy to obstruct justice and falsifying documents, all that kind of stuff. Guess what? If you're Donald Trump and you know the FBI, the heads of the FBI and the DOJ are against you, that's all you're going to do is obstruct what these guys are doing, right? You're like, bullshit, I'm not going to give them anything. This is the narrative of the left, and this is what's different than him and Biden, according to them. Is Biden, because you remember the lawyers of Biden, we gave as soon as we found the classified information in his garage with the Corvette, we quickly gave it to authorities. That's what they say. And now we know why they say that. Because the big foul by Trump is he didn't do that. He was obstructing justice.
Right, but it's not even true. It's not even true what Joe Biden is claiming right there, because it wasn't until 8 months later that the FBI actually went and collected those documents from his residence. And Joe Biden, he's the same guy who sent boxes with thousands of pages of documents to Chinatown. He's giving the Chinese our information more than the Americans, and these are confidential secrets. If anyone should be thrown in prison, it's Sleepy Joe.
Which he can't be thrown in prison. He's the president. He needs to be impeached, by the way. Just an interesting side note. And, of course, if Trump wins the presidency and still gets prosecuted, he could just pardon himself. By the way, that's another case. No one's above the law. Yes, there are people above the law. The president is always, to some degree, above the law. He can only be put in prison by an impeachment and conviction in the Senate. So he doesn't operate the same way as us. And the president's clearly above the law. He can walk into a gun-free zone with armed security.
Well, it doesn't even put him in jail. It just removes him from office. Then he can be prosecuted.
That's true. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, that just removes him from office. So you can't, and you don't want the president of the United States being arrested, right? That's a bad president. You can't do that. You can't arrest a congressperson on their way to a vote. And good, you can't, because think about that corruption if you could just arrest the tying vote on a crucial piece of legislation, you know? So, yes, there are people above the law. Cops are above the law. They can speed, right, to catch someone in the crime, the act of crime, right? There are people above the law, so enough of that stupid, bogus thing. Now, generally speaking, corruption's corruption, and we need to root it out. But in the case of this is really freaking goofy. The President of the United States still has Secret Service the rest of his days. The President of the United States still gets intelligence briefings. The leading candidate for office of president, even not as president, gets special briefings. So these people do operate to a degree above the law as long as we have some kind of ethical code where they can't just go, steal from people. But as long as there's some ethical code, that's actually an important thing for our republic, in my opinion, okay? So all these stupid Democrats that are saying, oh, no one's above the law. Bullshit. You don't believe that for a second. You all know that there are people that are technically above the law in certain circumstances for good reasons. And this reason, for our republic, it's a good idea not to go prosecute the leading candidate for president or, as you said, William, the former president. I'm going to make a couple more points and then we'll go to some comments. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm a little long-winded. I got a lot to say here. So they could have planted this evidence on him. What are you going to do if you're Trump? You have watched a weaponized Department of Justice against you ever since running for president the first time. So you're just going to hand over evidence of your guilt? Like, no, he's not going to do that. So really, when you think about it, half of the charges in here are him probably acting rational. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, these guys are coming for me. Look, I've been set up. And he's not saying that, by the way. I don't know why. If that's the case, he should just say, I've been set up. But I guess in some ways he is.
Well, he hasn't even really said what he hasn't really said a defense yet. I think he's still figuring out legally what he should be able to say. He's trying to figure everything out still first. But no, he hasn't given any real direction to, his supporters or anything on what's going on fully. But, and I imagine just because he wants to make sure that he chooses his words carefully, he makes sure he understands all of the facts of the situation, and then legally to not get in any trouble.
And then that's a fair point. Now, maybe they didn't plan it, or maybe they planted it in this Mar-a-Lago raid. That's another thing. They come in and raid his home. Once again, I think there's some politics, some 4D chess by Trump putting this stuff in his bathroom, in his private residence. So, hey, Bridget, see, look at William right now. See that face? Oh, he's already changed it. See, he was just staring at the ground. I'm telling you, he's making these faces. He doesn't even realize he's doing this.
Are the faces in the room with you right now, Jake? Are they telling you things?
Oh my God!
But yeah, it's like they're obviously picking and choosing which crimes, when they want to charge people, who they want to charge. Obviously, always Trump. I was just thinking the average person commits 3 felonies a day. Isn't that something that people say? So if the average person is committing just little crimes like that all the time, and we have these politicians getting away with murder, Hillary Clinton literally. So. It just goes to show that they're, it's a crooked justice system, and that they're tilting the scales to just hurt Trump in any way they can. And if this judge doesn't do the right thing, I already have a perfect reason why. She donated $100 to your favorite, Ron DeSantis. So if the judge does the wrong thing, it's all going to be because she's really trying to curry favor for Ron DeSantis in this primary.
To the governor of her state, who's Republican. Nice try,
in 2018,
Jesse.
Yeah,
that's.
I'm hopeful that she's going to do
Trump
the
probably
right thing.
told her to. Trump's probably I support and endorse DeSantis. Nice, nice try.
I know. I'm just joking.
Was this the big DeSantis dirt you were?
No. I'm saving that for another time.
But it's actually important. This Jack Smith, the guy who's the prosecutor, of all the people they could get as a special prosecutor to go after Donald Trump, they find the one guy that's married to a documentary producer or director who produced a documentary, a flattery documentary on Michelle Obama. Who I still allege will be the Democrat candidate when they.
I think so too.
Right, so this guy's a Democrat, right? That's the guy. That's the only guy they could find to prosecute Trump.
Well, and same thing with New York in that case. That Judge Juan Mercham, his daughter worked for the Biden campaign.
Right.
So it's so obvious that they're choosing the people that they want to prosecute these cases, and I haven't done enough research on this current judge that we're dealing with on this case, but. From what I've seen so far, so good, but you never know.
Now, planting evidence could be a big, grand conspiracy, or it could just be one person that got in there, and then a bunch of other FBI agents trying to do the right thing came across it, and they didn't know it was planned. I mean, this happens, right? We know.
I can't imagine a
there are
good
some bad
FBI agent.
There are some
I
bad
can't imagine
cops.
a good FBI agent
Oh,
raiding
come on.
Mar-a-Lago.
There are, well, yeah, I know, right? That'd be
Yeah.
like, dude.
I'm not saying all of the FBI.
No, that's
I
an
know
interesting
people in the
point.
FBI. You know, so
Well, I
there's
was
good people there.
I was never in law enforcement. I was in the military. You don't follow illegal orders. Now, was that an illegal order? No, but boy, I'd be like, dude, I did not sign up for this. This is bullshit.
Which is too bad, you know.
But I'm just
I wish
saying-
it wasn't a corrupt institution because, like,
Right.
that's right up my wheelhouse. I would love that kind of stuff, the intelligence, you know. You know, just because of how corrupt it is, you know, good people don't want to be a part of it.
So it doesn't have to be a grand conspiracy. It could just be one person planting the evidence. It also could be no evidence was planted, and somehow, because Donald Trump wasn't the one stuffing the boxes on his exit of the White
he
House,
wasn't
right?
packing the boxes.
No, no, he's too busy leading the raid on the Capitol. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what the corporate media.
He was
wants you to
giving a
believe. Oh,
speech.
sorry.
He was
Yes,
giving a
that's
speech.
what the corporate media
told
wants you
people
to
to
believe.
stay calm.
Lying corporate media.
Yep.
Actually, he was telling people peacefully, right? They said
Yep.
peacefully. So what happened is someone put the wrong stuff in the boxes. That could also happen. Then imagine you're Trump. Okay, now imagine everyone's coming after him, right? He knows there's weaponized parts of our government coming after him, right? And so then they call up, they go, Trump, you got classified documents. How do they know that? I really don't know how they know that. But they like, you got Trump, what's he going to do? Yeah, I'm just going to hand over all these classified documents so you guys can come after me. And then I just validate your case against me that I had classified documents caught red-handed. Because remember, at that point, they didn't have the Biden thing. They didn't have the Pence thing. This would be unprecedented that Donald Trump has all this information and then they hand it over. So Trump's not going to want to. He's not going to want to comply with this overly politicized Department of Justice, and that's part of what they're charging him for. Some of the worst stuff that they're charging him for. So I don't see a good way out of this. This thing is messy as hell, and it's why you don't bring this damn case. As sad as it sounds, if they got information, make that public. Then you got Donald Trump refuting it and let the voters decide on it. But you don't want that. You don't want to make things public, FBI, like Hunter Biden's laptop. You don't want these things being put in front of the voters. You would rather suppress that information.
Well,
You'd
they
rather
call
go to
that-
social media, Facebook and Twitter, and say, you know what? That's Russia misinformation. Take that off your platform. That's the FBI. Why would Donald Trump not want to comply with these guys? I don't know. They are part of the reason for sinking his campaign in 2020. They withheld the information on the Hunter Biden laptop. So yeah, it's very obvious why Trump wouldn't do this. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Let's go to some comments here. I'm sorry you guys have probably been waiting for a while. Dawson, while we're reading comments, you want to get a live feed ready to go? I know I've seen some protests and mostly supporters at rallying outside that courthouse.
So Bad Hat Harry says pundits like Glenn Beck have been saying for months that instead of running against President Trump and trying to win on merit in the election, the Democrats will try to bleed him financially dry.
Well, I don't know if they can bleed him dry. They're going to try to do that to us. You know, we got our own government agency, campaign finance board trying to come after us. And, of course, they want to just inundate us with legal fees. And I appreciate everyone that's reached out and supported us financially. Thank you so much. My God, that's what it is. But, I mean, Trump, you know, multiple billions of dollars, I don't think that could happen.
P. Moore says, anyone else think they are doing this to Trump to move our eyes to something else going on? They know they won't get a conviction, but they have us so wrapped up in it that we are not paying attention to the stage left.
What is it, though? What do you think stage left is in this case?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This is, to me...
Ukraine, you know, obviously that's going on. But, yeah, it would be there's always things going on. So, yeah, it's hard to manage and, you know, keep an eye on everything going on at the same time. But, yeah, there's always things going on in the background that people need to keep note of.
Well, I mean, I look at like the UFO stories that are breaking these days and stuff like that, and I look at what else is going on you don't want us paying attention to. This is the stuff they want us paying attention to, which is really funny. Let's pull up the recent poll numbers here, Dawson. So Donald Trump, the first post-indictment poll came out. I think this is a CBS and I can't remember what the other one was. CBS YouGov. I think CBS YouGov poll showing that Donald Trump is clearly leading the Republican field, 61% to DeSantis, and a distant second, 23%, and everybody else not even really a chance. I don't know how there's 3% that think Nikki Haley deserves that position, but Tim Scott coming off of his strong performance on The View. I don't know why that was going viral. You just know in news cycles that wasn't that great of a performance, but everyone liked it. Seemed like so. Maybe I'm missing something. 61 to 23%.
I honestly didn't even watch it. I seen that it was going everywhere, but I mean, I figured just like you were saying, like it can't be that great.
No, it wasn't great. It was like heated argument. It's like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Now
he showed Whoopi Goldberg. He's the next president. Yeah, right.
This is even more important here. Let's look at this. When asked a question, who are you even considering? All right, of the 2023 Republican field, 75% of respondents say Donald Trump. So basically, there's 25% never Trumpers. Okay, only 51% say they are considering DeSantis. So those are the Jessies of the world, right? That or make up that 49%. They wouldn't even consider him because remember, if you're this means you're considering him. So it's technically you could write this as 49% are not considering DeSantis. Only 25% are not considering Trump, which then really busts down to a really interesting thing. Krispy Kreme down there, only 7% are considering him. So 93% of Republican respondents aren't even considering him as president. Third place is Tim Scott. I mean, it's not even a plurality at that point. Like 79% of Republicans aren't even considering him. This is Trump's race. I mean, literally, DeSantis is the only other option. Now, it's a marathon, but I just don't see anyone gaining. I think DeSantis is the only chance at beating Donald Trump here on the Republican side. I don't think we have a poll yet post-indictment against Biden, but the last polls, and, of course, the Real Clear Politics average, shows that Donald Trump is actually beating Joe Biden right now. Now, that's not state by state. I guess we could do, maybe Political Junkies could do a state by state breakdown. That'd be a good show for you guys. Because that's all that matters is where are the 5, big states: Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin probably would be adding that.
Well, same for the primary. Like national numbers don't really matter.
True.
It's those early states.
Even the early states don't matter because remember Biden won in South Carolina. Was that
That's
the first
the
time?
third state.
Yeah, that's the third state.
So I'd say that's an early state.
Yeah, fair, but that was only one.
Hold on, wasn't South Carolina 4th? Because I think it went
Democrats might be
Iowa,
different.
New Hampshire, Nevada, and then South Carolina.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah, well, long story
Third
short.
or fourth.
Biden, everyone was talking about the implosion of the Biden campaign, and then miraculously on Super Tuesday, everyone dropped out and then endorsed Joe Biden.
Yep, Obama gave Buttigieg a call. Obama gave Klobuchar a call. They both dropped out. They both endorsed Biden, and then all Biden had to worry about at that point was Bloomberg taking some votes from him, which wasn't very many.
Which was the worst campaign ever.
Yeah, when Elizabeth Warren can destroy you, when Elizabeth Warren can, end your campaign via a debate, you're a terrible candidate. If you can lose to Elizabeth Warren, you're no good. Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. All right, let's get back to your comments.
Okay, Dover Dan says, MSM down here in Rochester, KIMT. Title of the article today says, Trump arrives at Miami court for historic appearance over charges he hoarded secret documents. Hoarded? Really, isn't he the president?
Well, he's not anymore, right? And so, it's interesting. How does he possess classified documents nowadays? That's a good question. Do we have a live feed, by the way, Dawson? We're getting close.
I'm working on finding one that's not full of like CBS people talking the whole time.
Oh, you know what? You could just mute that.
Okay, but I mean, like they don't even have footage up. It's just like, hey,
Just
here are
people talking.
opinions.
Well, when I looked on YouTube earlier and I just typed in Trump indictment, but that was like hours ago.
I'll try again.
Or Trump arraignment, maybe I put. Yeah, we want to get, even if we got commentary, we just keep it quiet. We should probably
This
have
one
something
looks
up.
like it should be fine. USA Today. Does that matter?
Go ahead, Bridget.
Napkinator79 says, also the feds purposely didn't assist the presidential transition. First time in over 40 years.
Yeah, is that, I feel like I remember something like that. Jesse, is that true?
I can't remember it fully either. It sounds kind of familiar because, obviously the Trump to Biden transition was pretty unprecedented in its own way because Trump refused to meet with Biden, unlike Obama. But, Obama, that was all just a puppet show because Obama, he was spying on the Trump campaign. So Obama pretend to be a fake nice guy when, Trump just didn't want to play fake. He wasn't going to sit there and play nice with Joe Biden, so packed up and left.
So for our audio listeners who listen to this after the fact, we do have the window now. It's just showing basically ambulance and looks like some security. Could be cops, could be Secret Service vehicles there looking outside the Miami Federal Courthouse. From my understanding is there's an underground garage that he'll drive into, and then so we won't really see him out in the open. And we're hoping that we can get like a camera shot as he's walking between maybe rooms like in New York. There's definitely no live cameras in the courthouse. Actually, no cameras at all in the courthouse, unfortunately.
Is this going to be the same as the last one that we had watched?
Yeah, but I still want to have the window up. We don't need to make it the main window of our show here.
Right.
Just because I don't think we're going to get great footage. If we get great footage, we'll go do it. Wish we could hear Trump speak. Now, Trump's speaking tonight, I believe, somewhere, right? In Florida. He's got a fundraiser. How do you not?
I don't know.
You don't know your schedule. Jeez, Jesse.
I know you act like I memorize every little thing.
Yeah, we all thought you did.
I don't know his every action every day. I read Truth Social as much as I can, but yeah, no. And also, I was just watching an interview podcast on Full Send with the mayor of Miami, this Francis Suarez, who is looking likely to get into the presidential race, and he was pretty upset about how Trump is telling people to protest in Miami, but it's like, why wouldn't he tell people to protest when this is going on? So. I guess that Francis Suarez isn't too happy, but and it'll be interesting to have three people from Florida running. Between Trump, DeSantis, and this Suarez. He was also saying that DeSantis is not a people person, which everybody already knows. So he's not a social guy. He can't get along with people.
Not everybody knows that, Jesse.
Yeah.
Well, I'd much rather take DeSantis' word over this lockdown mayor from Miami.
I'm not for him either. Trust me, he's going to be running against Trump too. So yeah. I don't want anything to do with him.
What is this feed that we're watching? This has got to be the worst feed I have ever seen.
This is USA Today.
That was one of the big feeds. It's so interesting that there's protests, there's rallies going on out there, and all they're showing is a bunch of parked vehicles.
Bad Hat Harry
they
recommends.
don't want to show the protests.
No,
Bad Hat Harry recommends C-SPAN.
Oh,
no, they don't want to show.
That's what they're doing. They're zooming in. Maybe they feel like they can get a shot. Now we got a bus getting in the way here.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a metro bus, though.
Should I try out C-SPAN like Bad Hat Harry is saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's try a C-SPAN then.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we owe it to the viewers to at least have a feed that maybe is somewhat good. I mean, we might not get anything, but if we get something, might as well watch it. The media is making a big deal about Trump's two lawyers that left him the other day, and it's all the headlines. Have you seen this? Trump is scrambling to find new lawyers, new legal team. It's unbelievable. All right, Bridget, what else we got?
We have Wendy McClure on YouTube said this is a complete joke when Clinton, Obama, Biden, Bushes, and many others have more documents. Trump has done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Do we have evidence though that did she say the Bushes? What did do we have evidence of that?
I don't know, but it's like the Bushes and Obamas get to kill people, and then Trump takes a couple of pieces of paper, and we got to throw the whole rule book at him. We got to throw him in prison. It's like we were talking about this before. Obama killed American citizens. And George Bush, he started a war on false premises. He said there was weapons of mass destruction. There were no weapons of mass destruction, and it cost us so many American lives, and But yeah, let's worry about these documents. What a joke.
I'm not seeing anything from C-SPAN. Their YouTube channel and their news page didn't look like they had any coverage.
Nothing live?
Not that I can see, no.
We have Roger Mack on Facebook says, read the Presidential Record Act and then tell me how he is guilty.
Yeah, I have. So once again, I don't want to assume guilt here at this point. And all we have is the state's evidence. This is the state's evidence against him. And we haven't heard the defense. What's the defense? There might be. All we have are statements that Trump's made. Now, Trump looks like he's put his foot in his mouth because Trump himself has said, I could declassify it. Not technically true. And in fact, according to them, the audio tape they have of him is admitting he knew he couldn't. But this is Trump. The guy talks a lot. Doesn't mean anything behind it, right? He's just portraying himself as this kind of crazy man off the cuff.
Yeah, and if these Democrats really want us to take it seriously, don't have Jack Smith as a prosecutor. Don't have these politically motivated people that we can see right through. Because if they really wanted to have some legitimacy in this, don't you think they'd choose someone fair to
you would
go
think
after
so.
this? Of course not.
But once again, I don't know who's fair. Who trusts the FBI these days? That's the problem that we have. Looks like we're looking at a different angle here. And typical fashion, they're just not going to let you see anything. They got a bunch of squad vehicles blocking, I guess, where you could possibly come. I don't know what they're blocking.
Jake, what's going on with your camera there?
What do you mean?
Why is it angled like? Actually, this is a question for Dawson more than Jake.
I think
Because there's a window there? And
yeah,
he wants
just to
put me
fit
the
that
side
on
of
there,
it?
I imagine.
Oh, is that what you're doing, Dawson?
Oh, because all of you
Yeah.
guys are on to the side.
Yeah. Dawson,
okay.
Dawson knows what he... William, I swear to God, I keep looking over at you. You look like you're falling asleep. You really do. And then he's like, "What? That's not my face. Oh, we just Jake, do you see faces right now?" Literally. And then all of a sudden, you pipe in for the first time. What's wrong with Dawson? His cameras are off. All of us knew what Dawson was doing here. Good job, Dawson.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna give you a raise for the day.
Appreciate
William, would you just go take a damn nap?
it. I'm doing
Am I
better.
allowed to take a nap?
I'm doing better than
got
the
that
guy
chair.
who's running this feed because he just got a shot of police tape for a good 30 seconds.
I
or
did
something.
notice that.
I don't think people realize the stuff that Dawson does by himself. We really got to find another person in there.
We keep saying that, and then we never take any action on it.
What do you mean?
On finding another person?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's tough. You got to have a conservative person in media. Who wants to join us? Come and join us. No,
Is
we got.
Dawson conservative?
No, I don't care about this
Well.
stuff.
He's
we don't
just
need a
literally.
conservative
I mean,
person.
he's conservative-ish. I mean, well, I wouldn't.
My
He-
parents are conservative.
He's like-minded. He
Yeah.
just is not
I think
political.
he's becoming more like-minded.
Oh yeah, definitely. You've at least. Well, Dawson, come on. You got to admit you've come.
Dawson's
You
a
maybe
big
understand
Chris
our points
Christie
a little
guy.
bit more, right?
I'm a big Chris
We
Christie
need to
guy.
be
Yeah.
big instead of small.
Yup.
No, the one political opinion that I now have that I am 100% for is like William sent a meme in
Yeah.
a group chat yesterday that was like, I'm just voting for the youngest guy but I'm
It's
not
Vivek
gonna vote.
Ramaswamy. He's the second best choice. I
Oh, I thought you were
can't
saying
get mad
that's
at
who
you
was
there.
running across the screen there. There was a guy running across the screen. I thought you were going to say that was Vivek.
Oh yeah.
They got a good pace
Someone
there.
did mention in
Uh-huh.
the comments they wish he would suspend his campaign and go down in support of
Yeah,
Trump. And then someone was saying
That's
they
what
should
he's
all
gonna
do.
do eventually. I gotta imagine that Vivek is gonna do that, and then he's gonna run for the USN in Ohio. So I got faith in him.
Yeah, he's running out of opportunities. I thought he was going to drop out today.
What do you mean he's running out of opportunities? It's like not even.
No, like he's running
doing
out of
what?
like he's running out of time to run for Senate in Ohio if he's keeping up this presidential.
Oh, the
thing.
Senate's in 2024.
Yeah, Sherrod Brown is up in
Ew,
2024.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So like one of our theories was that he's just running to gain a name for himself,
Right.
get a donor base, and then he's going to run.
yeah, could be. You know who's gonna donor base is the guy that's giving away hats for $1.
Yeah.
Perry Johnson.
Mhm.
You know, Perry Johnson's got more name mentions, name drops on the show than he's ever had.
You should come on the show. We'd love to have
I
him.
don't even know anything about the guy.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of smart.
The
He,
quality guru. That's what he calls himself. He's into technology and designing things like like a car door handle.
well, so
Simple things like
he
that.
actually cares about the deficit and the budget.
Wait
He-
a second, Perry Johnson? He's the inventor of the car door handle? Wow. we
No,
gotta
he
get this
didn't
guy on the
invent
show.
it. He's a part of it though.
Yeah, he invented this little bar that you pull.
Yeah.
He is old, so man,
Yeah.
who knows?
Did we get any Rumble rants today?
I don't think so, but K-Wall did chime in and say cheers.
Hey, K-Wall. Good
I
to
was
hear
also
from you.
reading the comments. K-Wall was saying that Rumble Rants must be broken or something. Because it's,
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah,
Oh,
he said
really?
he was trying to, but it wasn't letting him.
Oh.
I feel bad. Like,
That
if we
sucks.
do a show and we don't have a Rumble rant, it's like they don't like us anymore.
It's true.
That's it. No more reading comments until we get a Rumble rant.
Gosh.
We haven't gotten a Rumble Rant because I've been pretty quiet this show. I think
Well,
that's it.
yeah, you're finally waking up. I mean, it took you that
No, I'm
monster
still-
energy
I'm
and
still pretty
me
sleepy,
calling you out.
actually.
Why are you so sleepy?
I don't know.
Jeez, you start your day
What is
out
this
saying your
cameraman
car's broke.
doing? Oh
Yeah,
my
what is look at
lord.
that camera?
Wow, good
You
camera.
dropped
they
the
got out
camera?
there, huh?
The caption says sorry. Somebody said sorry in that.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
Who's this feed from?
This is now this news.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
It's a
Look.
left wing rag.
I don't know who the heck anybody is. I'm just.
It doesn't matter who it's from as long as they're showing it.
They're trying to show it. They're changing their lens while live. I'm gonna. That's so
this
funny.
is hilarious.
That is
Yeah, they literally are
funny.
changing the lens live.
Oh my god.
Maybe,
Live- how
maybe
many
they
people are
broke the
watching
lens or
this?
something, you know?
Do they have? What are people saying? Well, okay, this is left wing. You said, right? So
Sure, they
Yeah,
get roasted.
generally,
Oh,
yeah.
here we go. And this is an interesting footage there. So now we got actually people. Maybe it's not that
the
interesting.
switcher decided to do a good move there and go.
A
away
reminder
from
that
the
we do have a
camera.
Twitter space
Yes.
in 24 minutes here.
Yeah, so we will sign off before 2:30 so we can do our Twitter space. It's the after show. Join us. Let's talk about that real quick. Can you pull up Twitter, or can you send him? Do you have a Twitter that you could pull up just so we could guide people into what to do?
But on desktop, it's super.
Would it be super tough?
Yeah.
Um,
You should show people how to do it on their phone.
Hey, we got a Rumble rant
but-
from Napkinator. He says MAGA, $10.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
What was it?
Napkinator.
Napkinator.
Napkin.
Napkinator.
Like the thing you
Yeah.
wipe your face with.
Thank you.
Set.
Thank you, Napkinator. All right.
What?
Now we'll be reading comments again. I love this Rumble rant thing. It's really cool. And if you guys aren't following us on Rumble, make sure, even if you're following us after the fact, make sure to follow us on Rumble. Very important.
Dawson, if you zoomed in on my phone, would people be able to see?
We
what's
can
going
try
on?
it. I love being on William's show.
Someone said CSO14J
Okay.
says try Right Side Broadcasting Network for coverage. I don't know. how
Oh, we
good
could
they
do
are.
that. Okay, so here's our Twitter. Can you see that? Is it backwards, or are you able to actually see
No,
it?
it's right.
Okay. Action_Liberty. Scroll down here. And then you'll see this is our Twitter space that we have scheduled. We'll be going live at 2:30. This is your opportunity to chat with us, ask us questions. It's like a big chat room. And now this is our angle of it, but when you click on it, it'll say like remind me or something. So if you leave the app, it'll send you a notification come 2:30 and you can join us live. It's best on your phone, so download the Twitter app, and yeah, we'll see you at 2:30. It's going to be a good time.
William,
William,
you
you
gotta.
gonna bleach your teeth before?
Jeez.
Oh, gosh.
I was
I
gonna.
just-
Ow.
I was gonna rag on him too and say that he has to clean his phone screen.
Oh yeah, I went more personal than
Ouch.
I was just like, what can I say? I was gonna say you got a little
Bleach
food
my
in your
teeth.
beard there.
Jeez.
No, don't be self-conscious. I was between that or food in your beard, and I went with the
Is there
teeth
something
one.
in my beard?
No,
can you switch
they're
to
all
the-
not true, William. Jeez,
So you're
See,
lying to me
sleeping.
now.
I'm
It's because
not.
you're zoomed up super close on your
I'm not
face
lying
when you're
about the
reading
phone
that.
screen.
you were getting nervous too by having that close up. You're like, holy crap! I didn't realize that my face was gonna be on.
No,
there.
I kind of glanced over and I'm like, whoa.
I know. That's why we want to make fun of you. Oh my gosh.
Well, you guys should be looking at me during this, not at the screen. I'm right here. I'm the
I
real,
was
I'm the
looking
real
at you,
live
but
thing.
I couldn't help myself. It was just, it's good entertainment, William.
I
Now
am
you're
good
locked
entertainment,
on the
it's true.
screen
Oh.
because now Dawson's bringing something in
I'm
for you.
confused.
I don't get what he's
Oh,
doing.
okay. Do you want me to? Oh, you left it on me. Okay. Is this gonna
Oh.
leave
Is
scratches
that
on my screen?
Norwex?
No, it's a good.
Is it good?
No, Dale's
What's
got a
it
bunch
got?
of those things.
Oh.
Okay. Now my screen is cracked. That could have also been what you were saying.
Could be. Then you need to get a new screen, get it fixed or whatever.
Look at that.
Well, I'm probably gonna get a new phone sooner rather than later.
Dawson, will you go to row 12 of the show notes? I want you to pull up this article here. Now, the issue is, actually, first, what was the right news broadcasting? What was the
Right
right
side.
set.
Right, go to Right Side
RSBN.
Broadcasting. Let's see if we got something better. See, now their angle looks interesting because they got like
Well, it's its own website, right?
It's a
no,
channel
it's a
too.
Channel. We got a little sardines or something.
I don't
Can of
wanna show
sardines. What is
this.
that? You getting self-conscious about the ads they're pushing?
Oh my gosh, what in the
All
world is
protein.
We're all
this?
getting
Yeah, much better.
self-conscious here.
Great suggestion. Who suggested that?
That is busy.
Is that Bad Hat Harry?
Oh, I don't remember.
Very
no,
good.
I
Okay,
think
so we are interested in that. Okay,
it was
now
CSO.
go to go to the show notes, Dawson, and row
can't-
12. I
okay.
want you to pull up this article because they're trying to keep down. Let's just be honest, right? Jesse, are we cool now? You thought I was like going against you on Trump here, but you see where I
I
was
still
going?
think you are.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just
Only
kidding.
if this was true, okay? Only if, all right? I don't know if I don't believe it, and I don't think they can prosecute him. And I don't think it's good that they
There's
prosecuted.
no way to prove it.
I'm
so.
on record saying that, all right?
Row
Now,
what?
What's that?
Which row?
Row 12. Topless at the White House. Because they're trying to keep him out of the White House. Because, we don't want to stoop down to that level. We have dignity in the White House, right? Where the Easter Bunny tells Biden where to go. This is the dignity we have in the White House. For those that are just listening to this, this is an image of a trans woman, which means it's a dude, going topless with big old fake boobs. Of course, this is it's blurred out. Just
I blurred it out anyway.
Yeah, it's blurred out. Oh, did you have like the actual? Did you have a non-blurred out one, or did you blur it? Really?
Well, I mean, they're the person's covering them
it's
up.
covered.
I'm
They
still
have their
going to
hands
blur
in
it
there.
because we have a family-friendly audience. I'd like to think so. We don't treat the audience like it's family-friendly.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so and this is surprisingly not going viral as much as I thought. In fact, the first time I saw it was last night. That writer for the Babylon Bee, and I was like, well, she's a trustworthy source, but I still I always validate things, and then I validate it's true. And you still don't see this covered a lot right now.
You're talking about Ashley St. Clair?
Yeah, Ashley St. Clair. Good point. Anyhow, that's how I found out about it, but from her account on Twitter.
It got a response from the White House.
It did?
That was as of today, and I did include that in the article.
You did include it?
Yes.
Oh, well, let's go ahead. You're the one that wrote the article. I haven't seen the article.
Yeah, I was literally like typing away like up to 10 minutes before the show. So this is new content.
By the way, even if that wasn't a trans woman, if that was just a regular woman, which kind of looks like it in that image because they're getting better at some of these, once again, you get a topless person in the White House lawn. Like that's the dignity that we have in the White House right now.
And
They're
you don't
trying to
see
keep Trump
this.
Out of there.
You don't see this in the picture here because I didn't think it was worth including. But on either side of this trans woman, there are two trans men, so women to men.
Yeah, so
who had
actually,
their breasts cut out.
You're right.
They're also shirtless. So.
And it's interesting when you do have a woman who's had her breast removed and has now got chest hair. It just doesn't seem like it's a big deal, right? This is kind of a weird topic, isn't it?
It's weird to think about.
It is
I don't
weird.
know how I feel about it.
Because right now it seems the more offensive thing here, or at least in our society, is you don't have a topless woman outside the White House.
Yep.
But really, we're talking about a dude.
So weird.
It is so weird. It's
like,
just a
yeah,
mind.
you're like-
It's a mind f. All right, what did the White House say?
Scroll down, if you wouldn't mind, please, and thank you. Would you mind moving the box? Thank you. This behavior is inappropriate and disrespectful for any event at the White House. It is not reflective of the event we hosted to celebrate LGBTQI+. See, we're not consistent with the acronyms. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
they
have the
always
2S,
change.
sometimes you don't have the I.
And
They
the
never
A.
have the P. They should have the
And
P
the A,
for
right.
pedophiles.
Right. Coming soon. Families or the hundreds of guests who were in attendance, individuals in the video will not be invited to future events. That's the White House's response.
Oh, yeah. Big
So,
shocker. Now, meanwhile, back here in Minnesota, let's go back to actionforliberty.com. Dawson, go to the news story on St. Cloud. Just give people an update on this real quick. Since we're on the trans topic, just click on our logo, scroll down. There you go. Target Arctic Cat tax-funded entities amongst sponsors of the drag shows. So from what we understand, this did happen. This is St. Cloud Pride, their event that they wanted you to bring dollar bills to tip the drag performers as if they're doing a strip tease, and they encourage people as low as young as 4 years old to attend. And there's a bunch of sickle parents that brought their little children to this thing. They had a reduced rate, by the way. They're so kind. Reduced rate to children as low as 4 get their ticket for $15. But you got major corporations and AAA's on there too. It says Amazon. Now, by the way, this is what they're saying. This could be false, and if that's the case, it's fraudulent for what St. Cloud Pride is doing. But they're saying that they get sponsorships from AAA, Amazon, Target, New Horizon Academy. No, we're not groomers. Capital One, and then look up there in the top right for all you good old Minnesotans. Arctic Cat? Arctic Cat? What the hell are you doing, Arctic Cat? That's like Budweiser problems right there. So apparently Arctic Cat is sponsoring this. What are you seeing? Jesse, what were you looking at? It looked like you want to.
Yeah, I was just looking at what that logo was, the Minnesota housing one. I was wondering if that was
so
tax
that's,
money or not.
No, that's part of the. Okay, so that's part of the story is NPR, which gets taxpayer money, and Minnesota Housing Authority also sponsorship. So your tax dollars is going to sponsor these organizations putting on drag shows for little kids as young as 4 and encourage them to slip dollar bills into the, well, you can use your imagination.
And NPR News, they've gone after us before. I remember during the state fair, they hated our booth. So I remember there were some of the journalists there that were attacking us. So it's no surprise.
It's funny.
All right, let's go back to the live coverage here. I'm sorry about that. I wanted to cover these topics. We only got about 10 more minutes of this broadcast, and then we'll go to Twitter Spaces. I'm not certain, so this isn't a big deal. I'm not certain we're actually going to see something. Impeach Jack Smith. Is that what that sign said? I think that's what that sign said.
Indict Jack Smith.
Indict Jack Smith. From what I could tell, there was a lot of Trump supporters. Is there any way we could just oh, there you go. Dawson's ahead of the game there. Oh, this guy in the white van to obstruct our view. What does that say?
No idea. Can't read that.
It's something.
Yeah, it's different.
You know what? We should have had our news truck out there. That would have been great advertisement.
Oh,
Truth Hurts
that's
Show.
that's a really cool van, actually.
So Jack Smith is the federal prosecutor, special prosecutor that was assigned to this case. Wife did the flattering documentary for Michelle Obama. What other comments? Let's go to comments here before we sign off. Especially if someone did a Rumble rant, you go right to the top. If you do a Rumble rant.
There were people that were trying to make Rumble rants, and I think quite a few of them. K-Wall said they tried, they couldn't. So I think there's something up with it. Bad at Harry, I think, tried as well.
If you tried and failed, I would guess try refreshing the page. And if you still have a problem, let us know, and then we'll reach out to Rumble.
And Brad Ganser's here, and he said his phone doesn't let him do Rumble rants.
Cheapo, whatever. That's such a lie. Fake news. Total fake news, Brad Ganser. Brad Ganser's got the money. The Rumble rant.
Bad Hat Harry.
Hey, by the way,
says,
Brad, when are you coming on the show? I've said it a million times. I know. Oh, I'm always busy. Actually, he is down south.
Oh.
Brad, aren't you down south? Aren't you in Florida right now? He keeps sending me these photos of him smoking a big stogie.
On the beach?
Somewhere.
Oh, he did. He said chiming in from sunny Florida.
Yeah. Well, what part of Florida are you chiming in from? Head down to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Mega Jesse's like, Trump needs your support.
Yep.
But Bad Hat Harry also, I just don't know if there's something that we could address here. He said he couldn't get his, microphone to work on Twitter last time in the Twitter space.
Oh, probably have to grant access to your microphone. I can only speak from an iPhone experience. I think I've had an iPhone, nothing but an iPhone since like 06, 07.
If you just download the app, I'm sure you have to like give permission to the app from. So maybe that's part of it. I mean, I always invite everyone who joins to speak.
Yes, he's not.
So we're trying to do what we can. You just gotta.
He's not Jack Dorseying you. He does want you to speak. He's not trying to silence you.
No.
Okay, so instant.
That was funny.
zipper.
Don't worry. I was laughing with you.
We have a kind of a longer comment on Rumble from Instant Zipper Bailiff. It says, I'm sharing a Facebook post from a Minnesota attorney I found interesting. Here's his opinion. So this is some Minnesota attorney's opinion. Donald Trump has now been charged with 35 felony counts. I predict
38.
millions. Okay, 38. Guess he's wrong there. I predict millions of money in costs and attorney fees for both sides. As a 50-year veteran of the criminal courtroom, I would give some thought to, and then it goes somewhere else. Here we go. To the reason, or something, I don't know if there's something missing there, but then he says, the reason is that this case is venued in Florida, a leading red state. Therefore, there will be numerous Trump supporters on the jury panel. Because this is a politically motivated indictment, the jury, let's see where this goes. The jury will decide on the politics. If one juror determines not guilty, it's kind of all over the place, this comment, because it has to do multiple chunks.
But I think
he'll be found so. Yeah.
I think what I get is it's all political, and and that's like the scary thing is you don't want it political. You don't want politics in the courtroom, right? You're supposed to strictly interpret the law, but how do you do that? I mean, this is so high profile. Everyone knows who Donald Trump is, right? Yeah. And that was the argument they made with Derek Chauvin. Is there's no way Derek Chauvin would get a legit, fair trial because it's so hyper politicized.
Yeah,
and
the majority of Americans, even people who support what they're doing to Trump, say that it's politicized. So even the left can admit the fact that they're politicizing this, and the only reason they're going after Trump is because he's running again.
Yeah, no doubt. They wouldn't give a crap otherwise, right?
Yeah.
And probably that he has a real shot of winning again.
Yeah.
And so, you need a unanimous jury decision, and so you either can't convict him or they just might have a hung jury in this case. So Yeah, I think actually a conviction.
Yeah, watch the left lose their minds when Trump wins. He's going to win these court cases, and then he's going to win the White House, and then he's going to save America.
Plus, there is something called jury nullification. No one wants to hear you say that, but that means that if you think it's unjust, you have a right as a jury just to find the person not guilty. Even if it's like if you disagree with the law, right? Like, I think if I was on a court case and it was like tax evasion, I'm like, well, it's not the government's money, it's that person's money, so I find him not guilty, right? That's kind of like how I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you can't do that? Just objectively say guilty or not guilty? Or
of course you can, because they can't read your mind, so you can just literally choose, I think this person's not guilty. And then you basically have decided you're by yourself that it's an unjust law. Right.
Yeah.
No, they don't want this, and the judge will instruct the jury to interpret the law, but in the end of the day, they can't prove that, right?
Yeah.
So it's jury nullification right there. If you think a law is unjust, you can, as a juror, decide to find them not guilty. I wish we had the time and resources to get down there and do on the street. This would be great for Mega Jesse.
No, I wish we went down there.
And Jesse'd be like, send me to Florida. Okay. I might find that okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd inform the Floridians of what their governor really is.
They might hate you for that, though.
Oh, I don't think so. People are turning on him slowly but surely, and that's okay.
Do you think he's a good governor of Florida?
I'm not going to sit here and compliment him.
What other comments do we have?
Brad says he's in Miami.
So nice.
Brad, I mean, like, come on. How are you not there?
You know what? Brad can be our guy on the ground who's going
Brad
to
could.
Brad on
Brad's
the street.
done that for us, by the way.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, like up in, I think, Brad, was it East Grand Forks we had you? No, that wasn't. Brad, I think Brad was down in Lynn, Minnesota, did this. Wasn't this with Larvita when she was protesting the governor and opened up her business? I think that was the case we had you out there for. You'll have to remind me. What else we got? We got like a couple more minutes.
Let's see. Some people just said that they refreshed their Rumble Rants and it's still not working.
Still not working. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Look at all the revenue we're losing today.
Yeah, it could be on Rumble's end. I think Dawson was saying that he was having a little trouble with it right at the beginning of the startup of this episode. So, Rumble's still working out a lot of kinks on their website.
Well, if people really feel like donating to Action for Liberty, you can go to actionforliberty.com. Click on donate there, by the way. Always works, 100% of the time. If it doesn't, we're done. We're screwed.
And then we have Marathon Guy 98 on YouTube says, the irony of Biden and what he has done versus Trump is insanity, and the public eats this up like it's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the other thing is like Obama literally killed a U.S. citizen. No trial, no jury, no indictment. Just murdered a U.S. citizen on foreign soil. So if we want to stack up these people against each other, I would say that's a far bigger crime. That's the thing is like it's hyper politicized. They don't prosecute anyone else. They go after Trump. Now Trump may have acted wrong, and in that case, everyone should also be prosecuted for this stuff. They're not doing that. That's what makes it problematic. And yes, Jesse, I said if. I already ran through look at him. He just can't see. He's just like, Trump's always right.
I don't think that. I just think that, this is such a scam and we shouldn't even give it any credence.
Well, that's the scam then. You got to give it credence because they're lying on this document. And by the way,
Smith's document.
And think about, but it's not just Jack Smith. There's obviously other people that put this together, so it would be a conspiracy. And if they were lying on that, is someone go to prison for it? No, probably not, because that's our two-tier justice system.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they want to throw Trump in prison, they might as well throw every single member of Congress in there. There's so much corruption that goes on, and if if they're catching Trump on when he does, not even a tenth of what they do, it's just not fair.
That guy looked like Jeremy Munson.
He's our retribution.
Jeremy Munson commented actually earlier.
Oh, it looked like Jeremy Munson. I walked across there. I was like, is that Munson?
Munson commented?
Yeah, I forgot to read it. It was like early on at the top. I can see if I can find it.
On Rumble?
I think it was Rumble, yeah.
What are they? Is the court?
Yeah, he said selective prosecution, ignoring Hillary and Biden for holding classified docs out of office, will never be addressed by the mainstream media.
Trump's about to jump.
That's right.
Trump's
yeah, right.
Jump. That's good. It's probably a sniper. It's probably Secret Service up there.
That's cool.
That guy's
That's a
probably
cool
like,
job.
oh my God, if we have a jumper, this is like. That's what they'll do. They'll put a jumper up there so they could get Trump out the back. That'd be a good move. Everyone's like, no. Blacks for Trump. There's a whole group of black people that were there with those shirts on.
Yeah, they follow Trump to every rally.
Right.
We got 5 minutes until our
so racist, they say. So racist.
or space starts.
All right, one last comment here before Twitter Spaces.
Okay. Let me find one last good comment then. We actually got through most of them.
Oh, impressive.
I mean, there's a lot of ones that like back and forth that I didn't read, but any big comment?
Dawson, you able
There's
to
one more
throw
on YouTube I could read. I like how the entire media left and right are focused only on Trump. The left wins again, distracting away from the left's corruption. Republicans are beyond weak.
Mm-hmm.
That's from School Mail Gen 1.
Yep,
School
agreed.
Mail.
Oh, yeah, one last thing I'll say. I emailed all of the politicians in our state, all of the Republican state representatives, all the Republican state senators, telling them, look at this witch hunt. Look at what's going on. It's about time you endorse Trump because we don't have a single legislator in Minnesota who has endorsed President Trump. And so what did I do? I took it upon myself. I emailed every single one of them. And, they had nothing to say. Pat Garofalo basically emailed me telling me to stop emailing him. And then Mark Coran, he gave an absolute nothingness answer. The rest of them can't even give me the time of day to respond. These people are jokes. I would like to see who's America first and who's a rhino. I'm calling on the legislators to tell me.
What's funny about that is I had a senator reach out and he goes, hey, I got this from Mega Jesse. And I was just like, oh, I wonder why he's targeting him. And so I take it to Jesse and go, hey, what's this all about? And Jesse goes, I sent this to all the Republican legislators today. I was like, oh, my God, you really did?
Yep. Someone's got to. And if people want to do the exact same thing, hit me up. I'll send you the email that I sent them, and you can, add your own little flavor to it.
Tucker says MAGA Jesse should run for office.
Maybe. I don't think I will, but maybe, we'll keep our options open.
We had 2 supporters come here a couple hours before film, and had a nice conversation. They come by every once in a while, and they wanted to see MAGA Jesse because they're big supporters of MAGA Jesse. So I went and grabbed MAGA Jesse. Anyhow, I said, William, you missed some supporters. And William's like, they were here? I'm like, yeah, but you didn't know because they only wanted to see MAGA Jesse. Poor William. Just doesn't get the love.
Just don't get the love.
It's just unfortunate.
There's not the same amount of love for DeSantis. Nobody loves DeSantis like people love Trump.
There's truth to that. That's true.
Well, you know what DeSantis isn't being prosecuted for? No, I'm just kidding. That was a low blow. I'm not going to leave on that one. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be on Twitter Spaces here in about 2 minutes. So go to our Twitter, which is action_liberty. Click on, what does it say? Join, whatever. And then
you got to do it on the app.
Do it on the app.
I think that's the problem people had last time.
So make sure you do it on the phone app. Otherwise, we can't tell you're listening. We will be back Thursday with our 50th episode.
Yeah, and Brad Ganser just sent me one of his classic cigar photos as well. So
there you go.
He's enjoying himself in Florida.
Himself in Miami for Trump's arraignment. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on Thursday for our 50th episode. Take care.